WDTN, the station that's working for you. This is 2 News Now.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining me and being here and just being a part of today's 2 News Now. It is Wednesday, January 14th. It is the second best day of the week, you guys. Congratulate yourself. We are here. I am your host, Alexis Bellamy, and across from me this morning is 2 News anchor Lee Jeffries. Lee, good morning.
Good morning, Alexis.
So I'll say this, Lee, on Wednesdays, we do wear pink. So
Yes.
I will let you off of the hook this time because,
I know.
But next time, I'm not so sure.
Kelly had her pink on, and I forgot mine.
Yeah, it can be anywhere. Like I just have the little scallops here. Just keep that in mind. We won't hold it against you. We are kicking things off with a look at your top 5 stories of the day today. A big show for you guys to take in. I'm really excited about it. But first, we know that 2 trial dates have been set for a man who was arrested in connection to the shooting of a University of Dayton student. You may remember when this story broke. Dylan Heiner faces weapon charges in both the Montgomery County Common Pleas Court and the federal court for that November 1st shooting that happened during a Halloween party. Now, his common pleas trial is set to begin on February 2nd. A federal trial date has been set for just a few days later, and that's on February 9th. As we previously reported, Heiner could have had these charges reduced if he completed an intervention plan, and we are working to figure out if that plan was completed or not. So 3 minors were also arrested in connection to this case, and we're still working to learn more. Police believe one of them is responsible for shooting a student. So stay with us for those updates.
Okay, this next one is a crazy one. The trial into the 2024 murder of an Uber driver in Clark County continues today. 83-year-old William Brock is accused of shooting and killing Olitha Hall after she had driven up to his home to pick up a package. And then in court on Tuesday, the footage from the dash camera inside of her vehicle, which actually captures the shooting in full details, was then reviewed for hours in court. The defense team then pulled more footage, saying there was more to be found and also alluding to a lack of thoroughness by Clark County detectives, and that Hall may have been more involved with the scammers. And so now the state says that the video proves Brock's aggressiveness, and therefore the self-defense claims are null and void.
Mm-hmm. We'll keep our eye on that as well, Lee. Yeah. Thank you. Over in Huber Heights, they are pumping the brakes, you guys, on another gas station chain looking to be built just off of I-70. City leaders took up a proposal for a quick trip facility at last night's city planning meeting. They wanted it to go where the old Frisch's Big Boy is in Old Troy Pike, just off of I-70, but that proposed location was denied, or rejected rather. At the city's planning commission meeting, the commission did not recommend the plan to build an over 6,000 square foot location there. So you may remember a 1-year moratorium was actually placed there on gas stations. It went into effect on the first of the year. However, the application for the quick trip was submitted just days before the moratorium became effective. So they just made it in there. The chain submitted a basic site plan with the layout, parking, landscaping, signs, and a lot more. A main concern, though, was the location being negatively impacting traffic congestion on Executive Boulevard.
But while that quick trip won't be built, we are going to see a new public hospital in West Dayton because Dayton city leaders started discussing today what next steps need to be taken. There was a meeting at 8:30 this morning, and during that meeting, leaders rolled out a presentation highlighting the next steps that are expected. 2 News reporter Julian Jackson is actually covering this story and is going to have more on the steps that were discussed in just a few minutes. So stay tuned to hear that.
And in a developing story for you this morning, 3 Springfield City Commissioners took to the stage for the first time on Tuesday night. They were greeted by community members who came to voice their concerns for the city's Haitian population. We know that's been a big deal. They say they want integrity, honesty, and togetherness from the commission. Nearly every person who spoke at that meeting voiced their concern about what will happen to that population once their temporary protective status expires. And that's in next month. That's on February 3rd. Now, Springfield's newest city commissioners agree on one thing, and that's to get anything done, they need to listen to the people's concerns. However, leaders want people to know that they are listening, but some federal policies do have their hands tied when it comes to this matter. That next Springfield City Commission meeting will be held on January 27th, so later this month. All right, we have made it through our top 5 stories of the day, all the big stuff. We are turning now to what is going on outside. And Jamie actually said it earlier this morning that today was actually supposed to be considered a warmer day for us, Jamie.
Yes,
Okay.
we were in the low 40s all morning, and our normal high this time of year is 37.
Ooh.
So
If we consider that a high, that's like 4 degrees above freezing,
I
Jamie.
know, but it has started off okay, but it's going to get colder as the day goes on. So today's our day of change as a cold front comes through. You can see out in Trotwood right now, we have lots of clouds. We've had some rain moving through as well. And this is especially across the southern half of the Miami Valley is where we're dealing with some wet conditions right now. Now, the breeze hasn't been too bad so far, but as a cold front gets closer to us, we are expecting the winds to increase going into the afternoon. Here's some of that rain right now. Springboro up through Centerville, over to Xenia, Jamestown with some light rain, and even down towards Port William and Wilmington and up to the Springfield area. A wider view, you can see it's been dry from Eaton to Troy up to Sydney and Salina. But you get up around Fort Wayne, and there is some colder air and snow shower activity. That will be moving in behind the cold front today. Right now, we have temperatures still right around 40 degrees, Union City, Minster, Troy, and Dayton. It is 42 in Fairborn, and then 43 down towards Springboro and Wilmington. The breeze, again, not too bad right now. It's coming in from the west between 5 and 10 miles per hour, making it feel more like the 30s. The winds are going to increase from the northwest once that cold front comes through, and that will draw in the colder air. So you can see how temperatures continue to fall through the day. By 4 p.m., we're below freezing, dealing with some scattered snow showers. And those snow showers will continue into the evening, so just be aware things could get a little slick on the roads, although accumulation will be light, generally a half inch or less. It doesn't take much when temperatures drop and the sun sets to get some slippery conditions. But I'll take a look at your full forecast coming up in just a bit.
And you said it best. It really does not take much for things to get dangerous and slippery out there. So I know when this time does happen, I certainly will be taking it easy on the roads, Jamie. All right, looking ahead, we got some sports news for you. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, so we have another major coaching change in the NFL, and of course, it's in the AFC North. After 19 years, 193 wins, and a Super Bowl title, 0 losing seasons, Mike Tomlin has actually stepped down as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This comes after last night's blowout loss at home to the Texans in the AFC wildcard round, marking Tomlin's 7th straight playoff loss. And they've all been by double digits, so it's not great. He finishes 8-12 all time in the postseason, and his departure leaves the Steelers looking for a head coach for just the 3rd time since 1969. Everyone needs a head coach right now. So.
Okay, and that brings us to a look at our react to that question for this morning. Very excited. It's very fitting without giving anything away, I guess I'll say. I want to know from you guys, a good fun question this morning. What animal, if you could think of one, do you think best represents Ohio and why? I just want to know. I'm curious because you know what the state bird is. Oh, there he goes right there. What a coincidence. And the animal, but what do you guys think in your own hearts of hearts, if you could pick, what would that animal be? Lee, I know you haven't been here for long, but so I am kind of putting you on the spot. But if you could pick an animal that you think best represents the state of Ohio, what would it be?
This is hard for me. I feel like I think of red when I think of Ohio, so probably the red cardinal. What do you think of, Alexis?
See, that's actually, I'll get back. I'll do mine later when we get to other people's responses and see if I can come up with something. But while we are on the animal kick, Lee, before I get there, scan the QR code and get in on the conversation, you guys. I'm so excited to get to our next story. I'm all over the place. Here we are. Let me know what you guys think best represents Ohio with the QR code. Finally, we are moving ahead to today. What is happening right now? So you guys may remember earlier this month, Five Rivers Metro Parks announced that a bobcat, yes, a bobcat, cute little things, not really though, have been seen in the area for the first time in quite a long time, which is, of course, a big deal. And officials in the park say that is a great thing. Now, here to tell us a little bit more about what other animals we can see right here in the Miami Valley is park naturalist and outdoor education coordinator David Horvath, and a guest. David, you have, his name is Aragon. Please introduce us to Aragon this morning. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. And I was just thinking of your question and how it's so nice that there's so many different kinds of animals to choose from in Ohio, from amphibians to frogs and reptiles. And this is Aragon. Aragon is a red-tailed hawk. He is an unreleasable bird. So we have federal permits to have him here. But he represents that close to 16,000 acres that Five Rivers Metro Parks manages.
Wow.
Almost all of it is kept in a pristine habitat. So it's really good forests and river bottoms and prairies and wetlands.
And he is gorgeous.
Yes, he's got good eyes. He's asking for help.
Okay.
So when he sees you, and he's trying to say that people need to support lands that is homes for wildlife.
Right.
And you can do that at your own home by planting oak trees or native plants. And it's a very complex system. And Aragon is a predator, so that he eats other mice and rabbits, just like the bobcats can.
Right.
And so predators are a good sign, a healthy sign that the environment is doing well.
Okay.
And so we want people to respect them, watch them from a distance if you can. And if you're really lucky, you might see a bobcat. We have had bobcats around for about 10 years or more in our area.
Okay.
So sometimes hunters will have cameras, and they were able to catch that elusive animal.
Like we were lucky to see. Lucky enough to see.
Oh, yeah. It's fun to see that.
Mm-hmm. So tell us, how long, I guess I want to ask, how long ago did we last see a bobcat? Do you guys know we've last seen one? Because it's a big deal that he was here.
It is a big deal. We have them turn up fairly often on cameras. I know they have been seen up at Carriage Hill Metro Park. We have seen them in the Germantown, Twin Creek Metro Park area a number of times. And they've even had young in that area. So they're here. They've been expanding from southeastern Ohio for some time now.
Okay.
And they're almost all the way across the state. Now, bobcats, deer, turkey, they were gone in the state in the 1850s. So this is a sign of health. And if you ever are lucky enough to see an eagle downtown or an osprey, that is something that was very rare when I was young. You didn't see them at all. And so it's another sign of returning health to our land.
Right.
Okay, and you already listed a few, but what other animals can you see in the metro parks?
Oh, you can see so many. So
does it depend on the season?
It does, particularly with birds. A lot of birds are in South America right now, in Central America, and they're going to be coming up. But in the winter, we have our friends from Canada, like little white-throated sparrows, or the little snowbird, the juncos, and you only see them in the winter.
Okay.
So they kind of come and go, and spring and fall is a really busy time in Ohio for migration. And we have lots of salamanders, and we have lots of insects. People love butterflies and dragonflies, and all of those are really cool animals.
You cannot forget about our flying friends. So will we see Aragon often? If we look to the skies, would we see him and his friends around very much?
I'd like to point out that Aragon has a reddish tail.
Yeah, let's see him.
A red-tailed hawk. And, whoa, just flapping away here. So he's been with us for a few years. But if you were driving along the road, you'll see a red-tailed hawk every couple miles if you're on a highway, if you're watching. Look for a light color, a dark color, and then a light color if it's facing you in a big bird, or look for that characteristic red tail.
Yeah.
And it's fun to look out the windows as you're driving, especially if you're a kid or somebody in the back seat. Keep your eyes out, because you'll see lots of animals. You'll see coyote, you'll see deer, rabbits. There's just lots to do.
There certainly is. Thank you both so much for coming. David and Aragon, thank you guys for being here. I guess we don't want any more action from him. But bye, Aragon. Thank you guys so much for being here. We've learned a lot. It is 11:13 now. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're taking a longer look at weather and what's coming up in Living Dayton. Don't go away, you guys.
2 News Now, brought to you by Universal Windows Direct.
Hi, I'm Dan, the owner of Universal Windows Direct of Dayton. This is Bowie. He's been sniffing out the coolest winter deals for you. For a limited time, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Get $250 off for patio doors and entry doors, $1,500 off for roofing, and $2,000 off for siding. Plus this week, 24 months interest-free financing for all products. Keep the cold out and the savings in. Give us a call now.
Universal Windows Direct.
Back now at 11:16 with a live look at the countdown to the 2026 Winter Olympics, you guys. Oh, it's almost a little foggy over there in the host city. You can't see it nearly as clearly as we do. You guys, the opening ceremony, 23 days away. We are getting closer and closer. It feels like by the minute. Now, this year's games are known as Milano Cortina 2026 and will happen in northern Italy from February 6th to February 22nd. Of course, the Paralympic Games are up next. That happens on March 6th to March 15th, featuring events that happen in Milan and the mountain resort of Cortina. And of course, just as a reminder, when the time finally does arrive for you guys to turn on the TV and watch those games, watch them right here on WDTN and WDTN Plus. Okay, and we're staying on the Olympics for just a second longer, you guys. Listen to this. So, a familiar face is getting ready for a new role at the Games. Music mogul Snoop Dogg has been announced to be part of the coverage plans for the Games this year. He was part of the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, carrying the Olympic torch before the opening ceremony. There he is. The rapper will be offering a different perspective on the games in Italy, and he's excited to be a representation of the U.S. So now, Lee, you have another reason to flick on the games.
I know, you have to. Everybody loves Snoop Dogg.
I know. So super excited about that. Time now for a longer look at weather. We heard it earlier. It was a nice warm day, but we don't count on it staying that way for much longer, Jamie.
Nope, not at all. We're already starting to see temperatures come down across parts of the Miami Valley as a cold front moves in, and that is just going to continue. Right now in Dayton, we're holding at 40. We are expecting the rest of the day to turn colder. Rain is going to change over to snow gradually as we head through probably 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon. And the winds are going to increase. It hasn't been terribly breezy this morning, but those winds are picking up. You can see right now we've got about a 6-mile-per-hour wind in Dayton, but back to the west. So we're looking at 23 miles per hour out towards Springfield, 24 in Chicago, 30 up towards South Bend. And this is sustained winds. Gusts are going to be even higher, so that's all heading our way. Low temperatures tomorrow morning. Brace yourself for this. You're going to be heading out to the teens. 16 in Dayton, 16 in Springfield, Greenville, 17 in Troy and Xenia, and 14 up towards Bellefontaine. So a much colder morning tomorrow. Our normal high this time of year, again, is 37. And after today, we're going to be below that most days. Tomorrow's high is just 24. We do come back up to 34 on Friday, but then check out the weekend into early next week. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, 3 days in a row with highs in the low 20s. And then we'll start to see a little bit of recovery there as we go through the middle part of next week. So, live Doppler 2 HD radar has some rain in the southeast Miami Valley right now. Clark, Greene, Montgomery counties down into Warren and Clinton counties. Off to the north and west, that's where our second front is, bringing in the colder air, and those snow showers will be dropping in. So Future Track shows the snow showers taking over through the afternoon. They'll be scattered about for the drive home at 5. Watch for slick conditions, especially heading into the evening after the sun sets. And they'll continue to have those snow showers around through much of tonight. Tomorrow, it's just going to be the slight chance of a few flurries. Otherwise, we'll see mostly cloudy conditions and just that colder air. Today's high, well, we've already had it. We're now falling through the 30s. And rain is going to change to snow with winds gusting up around 30 miles per hour this afternoon. Overnight, we'll drop to 16. May see another half inch or so with a few snow showers around. And then tomorrow, some flurries, mostly cloudy with a high of 24. And we have more snow chances Friday and Saturday, but none of these systems are huge snow producers. It's going to be maybe a half inch, maybe up to an inch. So light amounts, but still enough that the roads could be slick, especially as cold as temperatures will be Friday morning, Saturday all day, and then looking at next week for the holiday, if you're going to any outdoor services, morning temperature near 12 with a high of just 23 for MLK Day. Eesh.
Jamie, I'll tell you, I felt it in my soul when you were getting ready to talk about the high today. And you said, oh, we've already had it.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, well, there it goes.
Yep.
Looking forward to something else then. Thank you, Jamie.
Okay, I love this next story. 4 brave women were honored Monday night after they heroically kept a runner alive after his pulse dropped during a 5K race. So there they are. The city of Centerville honored Gracie Rex, Officer Katie Gersbacher, Katie Rublin, and Stephanie Clevery. They each took turns performing CPR and using an AED until the EMS crews arrived for the man. And then because of that, they were all honored with life-saving awards by the City Council and the Centerville PD. And I mean, they were just so deserving of that. That's
Indeed. Great. Now, something else for you guys this morning. The city of Kettering's new mayor has officially been sworn in. Mayor Brian Sadith served on Kettering City Council before being elected in the fall. He's taking office after former Mayor Peggy Lehner announced that she would not run for re-election. Council members Laura Arber and Dan Palmer were also sworn in last night. All right, and you guys, that brings us to a look at what is happening here today. Now, we are looking ahead. So listen to this. Dayton City leaders held a commission meeting at 8:30 this morning, and that was held to discuss the next steps in building a public hospital. And this comes after that ballot initiative passed in November, creating a $1 million levy. Now, 2 News reporter Julian Jackson was in today's meeting and has more on the next steps that were discussed. Julian, good morning.
Good morning to you.
So what can you tell us about this morning? What happened? What were the steps taken and discussed?
So what's happening right now is seeing how to move forward with this hospital, realizing that the money that will be collected from the levy is just under $2 million each year. That'll start being collected from City of Dayton residents starting in 2027, those people who own property as a property tax levy, to build a hospital with an extravagant amount of resources and tools. But noting that this hospital is set to be public and free to those in the public, the City of Dayton Deputy Law Director John Musto is saying that there's 2 options that need to go about this. How is it going to be run? Who will run it? And where can we get additional funds to build it?
And do they have any idea on when it's going to be open for patients, when they're going to start, expecting people?
They have yet to get to that point. The last time I spoke with Clergy Community Coalition, one of their leaders, and Bishop Richard Cox, he was saying that we could be looking at 2032. They are going to planning on building this hospital in phases, and some of that is some of the rather stale news that we have right now. This is looking like it's more of at a standstill.
Okay. Good to know. I know you're working on this today, Julian. We'll look for more from you.
I do want to go ahead and note there were 2 options that were given at this time, and one of those was to have a mayor-run board management. The other one is to go ahead and reach out to a charitable nonprofit organization, and there is a lot more to unpack in terms of
for sure
how it would be run and the funds that would be raised there, seeing that many of these people accessing this hospital would be Medicaid and Medicare.
I know there's a lot of details, a lot going into this, Julian, so thank you for sharing what you can. We'll look for those updates a bit later. We're going to take a quick break now. On the other side of the break, we're hearing from those responses for React to That this morning and what's coming up in Living Dayton. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Jumping right into those React to That responses for this morning. And that's not because I'm mostly excited for this first response, which I think is my actual answer. Lee asked me earlier, this is it. So Amanda says, I'd say the American quarter horse represents Ohio well. Ohio is known as the quarter horse capital of the world and hosts the Quarter Horse Congress every year at the Ohio State Fairgrounds, which runs for a whole month, 7 days a week. That is my answer. I know I'm not supposed to have favorites, but Amanda, I really, really liked that. I agree with that wholeheartedly, the American quarter horse. Second, Matthew says the wood thrush with its amazing song and symbolic of spring and summer, but that's also very poetic. So I like that as well. Jessica says our state bird, the cardinal, because it's red, O-H, and because it's here year-round. See, Lee, there you go. Furthermore, a flighted animal seems appropriate given the Wright brothers' history here. That's a good one, too. So that's my second best.
I like that one.
All righty. We are looking ahead to what is coming up in Living Dayton. Emily is here. Emily, what is going on today?
Yeah, good morning, ladies. So a lot going on today. Everyone loves a food drive, right?
Of course.
Well, the Beaver Creek Police Department, that is packing the cruiser. So how you can help local families in need.
Okay.
Plus, we got a lot going on. The Wright State men's basketball team is hosting their military appreciation game. So
Okay.
we're going to tell you how to get out to that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And plus, Stephen with the Twisted Greek is coming by. So
Oh, we love that. I
Lots
meant to
going on
ask, who is in the kitchen?
Yes.
Always something tasty and delicious. Looking
Yes.
forward to that, Emily. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Lee Jeffries, Alexis Bellamy for 2 News Now. We'll see you guys on Friday, Junior. Have a good day.